It's the Sumo Show, the podcast that discusses everything that's going on in Japanese Grand Sumo. Whether you've been steeped in sumo lore since the Heisei era, like me, Stan, or you're a dedicated fan who wants to get deeper into what's happening on and off the dohyo, like our good friend Troy, or you're brand new to the world of sumo and just want to learn what it's all about, no matter how much you know about the sport, the Sumo Show has something for you. So let's throw some purifying salt into the ring, do a few big Shiko foot stomps, and see what's new on this week's episode of the Sumo Show. So konnichiwa. I scared myself. Konnichiwa, everyone. And Okairi, welcome back to my co-host Troy.
Hello.
Hi there.
I got a little bit of the driveway. I was enjoying some popcorn before we started this endeavor, and it's doing its work, drying me right up.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness for popcorn.
That's right. Before I was going to speak in this manner.
That's what they should throw when a Yokozuna loses. They just throw popcorn at the ring.
Yeah, that would be really scratchy, I bet.
It's very salty.
Yeah, it's very salty. So I don't want anyone to be this is an illusion. It's all an illusion, man. Yeah, we're not really here.
I'm Doug Henning.
Yeah, this is a pre-recorded episode. You know why?
Yes.
We wanted to play around a little bit and see if we could let's do something like they do when they do this stuff for real. And so yeah, you have to let us know what you think. I'm presuming the quality is top shelf. Yeah, there's not
top flight.
Top flight. But yeah, so if you do chat, if you leave a message, we will not see it until we look
but
at
you
a later
can,
time.
You know what you can do? You can leave a message. You can leave a comment.
You certainly
rather
can.
Than going to live chat.
And we will pick 3 lucky winners to get an all expenses paid trip. No, I'm kidding. We won't do any of that.
Don't even.
But you could win a reply from Stan or myself.
All expenses paid reply from one of us.
All expenses paid conversation in the YouTube comment section.
Hey, sometimes I charge for my conversation, so that's not nothing.
True. You know what? So do I, actually, now that I think about it, but we're going to do it for free. That's fun.
Are we crazy? We must be.
We must be. I think that means, I think that they're getting a grand prize, the sum total of about, $25. So so it is and if our energy seems a little weird, it's because we're recording this and
we're used to you being here live with us, and we've got to.
That's right, juicing us up a bit.
Yeah, So we are. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm unable to make it on Friday night. When we go normally, and we want to have one more show where we talk about the Basho and our choices for the Fantasy Oyakata game, and get everyone all excited for the Nagoya Basho, which starts on Sunday, the 13th, just a couple of days from when you'll be watching this. Pick your winners. Go to the Fantasy Oyakata game. There's a link at our Facebook page.
There is, and you'll find that, I believe, yes, right here.
There you go. Look at that.
It will also be in the show notes, and so when you click on the About section of YouTube, it'll be there as well, and of course it will be somewhere on Reddit and all the sumo places.
Yes,
so of which there
have until noon on Saturday the 12th to put your choices in for. And join us. Please join us. It's completely free to play, and you win nothing.
We had one of the winners on at our last show.
Yeah, I was going to say, can't really say you win nothing now because we had the winner of the last 2 on as our guest for our show last week.
It was less of a prize, more of an investigation into the nature of where he's getting his, intel. How will he know? Is he connected in some way to the shadowy establishments?
Everything's an investigation for you.
Yeah, it is. Well, I do want to be a paranormal investigator someday.
Yeah. That
This
does
is
sound,
hyper-normal, I
that
guess.
sounds like a good job.
Yeah, I
Right up
think,
until the spirits turn you into a ghost dog or something.
or you ask for money or something, right? I mean, like, generally speaking, as
Mm,
I understand it, a paranormal investigator gets paid just because they're nosy,
right.
just butting
Yeah.
into other people's business. Which, hey, okay, fine, I'll do that for money. Yeah. So we're talking about the Nagoya Basho.
Nagoya Basho. Yes, which is starting. It's there. This is the first time in a brand new stadium. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, in Nagoya, and I'm looking forward very much to seeing that. I've seen some clips of the rikishi got tours around the inside, and they came back with lots of comments about how wonderful it was, and the air conditioning worked and everything, and um,
that's so
it sounds
great.
like a marvelous spot.
So is it a new Kokugikan?
No, it's not a new Kokugikan. It's the prefectural sports arena for
Okay,
Aichi
got
Prefecture.
you.
Kokugikan is the national sports arena, national sports center.
Ah, okay.
This this is a large venue in Nagoya, which is in Aichi Prefecture in central Japan.
Got it. Okay. And okay, so now are they going to demolish the Nagoya Sumo Arena?
They may have already, because it
Ah,
wasn't just a sumo arena. It because they're only there for 2 weeks out of the year. It's the prefectural gym, so they have lots of other competitions and events there. So kind of like, I mean, think around wherever you live. I know where you live, but wherever one lives, when they build
yeah,
a new stadium, they usually take down the old one.
right.
Particularly
Right.
if one of the reasons they built a new one is the old one is so rickety and out of shape, and no one wants to go there.
Right. And these cities that have lasted or that have been around for, in this case, thousands of years, that you can't really throw a stone without hitting some ancient something. And so they got to build in that same footprint. And
Yep. Yep.
yeah, so is it the Aichi Prefectural Gymnasium?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. You had a weird pronunciation even for the English word. That's talent. That's talent. Yes, it's the IEP Prefectural Gymnasium. Gymnasium is how
Oh,
one usually
gymnasium.
said that. The gymnasium? Are we going to the gymnasium?
Oh, let's do some sumo in the gymnasium. Yes. Okay. Well, great. Yeah, I was looking to see if there have been any reactions to the space. Um,
Well, I don't know that any.
yes.
I mean, no one in sumo, except that, like I say, they've been taking the rikishi there over the last few weeks to let them see it. So
Hmm.
there's been some kind of reactions to it, but like on the grand scale, I've not seen any big news flashes about Aichi Prefecture Gymnasium, awesome plays.
Yeah, I guess the one thing that I'm hearing is people are a little disappointed that there are that there aren't more seats. I'm getting a little bit of an echo. Um, they expected there would be more seats. Is basically what I'm kind of picking up on.
Well, suck
Sorry,
it.
friends. Sumo fans, in the immortal words of Stan, the gentleman sommelier. Suck it. All right. Awesome. uh,
Well,
hey,
there we go.
this is
I bet
semi-live.
I'm going to see that popping around the internet now. Stan says, suck
I can see the headlines now.
it.
Gentlemen, in
Oh,
quotes,
God.
the
You
gentleman
know, one
sommelier.
thing that's so funny to me about that is the reason I said that is is that that's what your boss at one of your other gigs says a lot in
That
situations like this. I
that you're
specifically was thinking of that and chose
suck it.
that for that reason.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And it is just quite funny. And I think that the reality is that you you are so far from that, which is what makes something like this funny when it becomes a meme or whatever.
Right,
But
right.
um, well, we are here for the controversy.
Anyway, having said all that, we are here to go over the Bansuke one more time, talk about what we see there and what we're thinking selections wise. Now, as you said, Troy, we're recording this earlier in the week, so it's before all of the training has been finished and before, knock on wood, hopefully no one gets injured. But if they do, we don't know about it yet.
We don't know about it. Yeah. So don't spoil it for us.
We got to put that as a caveat in these thoughts and
That's
recommendations we're going to give.
All right. Shall we check out the standings?
I think that's what we're here to do. Let's do it. Look at that.
Ta-da!
Looking at the official Grand Sumo app from the
that you pay for. Thank you so much.
Association, which I pay for. And this is, but you can get the Bansuke all over the place. This just is good for our purposes.
Yeah, who knows why they.
So yeah. So we got Hoshoryu and Onosato and Kotozakura are our champion level. Hoshoryu, we know that late in last week he hurt his toe and stopped training for at least a couple of days. So that is a question mark. By the time you're watching this, should have been resolved. Either it's clear he's hurt or it's clear that he's not.
Yeah.
Right now, he seems to be talking like he's fine, and he went out and did a little bit of light training on Sunday. So it seems like things are going good. He specifically said to the media, "No problem, no problem." But we all know what that means. Nothing. It means nothing.
It could mean nothing or big problem.
Yeah. Onosato's looking very good. Looking very good in his training. Looking sharp. Of course, as so often happens when you get a big promotion, it's very often that you have a lag following it. And Onosato certainly did that when he got promoted to Ozeki. So he says that he learned from that and that he's going out and he wants to win again. And Kotozakura also nursing a back twist injury, but it hasn't stopped him from training. So who knows?
Wait a minute. Who? That was Kotozakura?
Kotozakura.
Well, all right. That influenced my choices.
It was a minor. It wasn't a big one, but it did. It got mentioned, and that makes it big enough. So, I have a feeling that you're going to go for Hoshoryu.
I'm not.
You're not? Really?
Okay, so I'm playing this. I'm playing this. Here's what I'm thinking. So I tend to lean into loyalty more than other things, and that is, I think, an emotional reaction. Naturally, a human compassion and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm dead inside today. No, with the toe situation and the back situation and the ebb and flow of Hoshoryu, I feel like Onosato has one thing for sure: consistency.
Yeah, he's going for his third win in a row. If he were to take the Yusho, it would be 3 in a row, which doesn't happen all the time. It's hard to do.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing for me looking at these group is all 3 of them have a reason to look at them and go, maybe this isn't your time, right? Hoshoryu has a potential toe problem. Onosato has he's got the potential Yokozuna hangover, and Kotozakura, well, has the fact that he's Kotozakura, really. But they all have what it takes to win. And they all can do it. And Kotozakura hasn't done it yet, but he will. So yeah, I find unlike all the recent past ones, I look at all of them and think there's a reason I could choose to say no to you. Which means that for me, there's no one that sticks out as a, yep, absolutely picking him.
Yeah.
Hoshoryu certainly has said that he wants to make up for his, because he was in his premier Yusho Basho as a Yokozuna last time. It was his first time out, and he didn't do great. He wanted to he wanted to do it. Well, I guess no, it was his second, not his first. It was his first full one. He wasn't injured, and he went the whole 15 days. And although he beat Onosato, he was out of it by Friday when Onosato won.
Yeah.
So he's got some very strong motivation to do well. Pride goes a long way.
Yeah, I feel like there's some pressure on Hoshoryu to deliver a flawless performance, because he's yet to do that, really.
Yeah.
He's come back from great odds, and he's done, remarkable stuff, but people are waiting for him to do that thing, and I don't think he's there yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Onosato. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, Onosato in this grouping right now, my default pick is going to be Onosato until there's a reason for it not to be.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think he's better than both of them, just in general.
And I purely go on feelings and colors and shapes. But no, that's funny. That is interesting, because it does make pragmatically, that makes perfect sense. Why would you go any other way? Yeah.
Except that every once in a while you do. You're like, well, he can
That's
win
right.
anytime. He won't win every time, for sure.
Let me say, you don't get second place by, bad guesses.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, just not good enough guesses, I guess. All right, so
all right, so
this has literally become the let's do Troy's Fantasy
Oyakata. We don't have to say exactly what we're. I mean, the point of this show is not for us to tell people exactly what we're picking, but to tell them how we're leaning. And I think, so you're leaning to Onosato.
I am, and the reason sorry, I just want to say the reason why I'm sharing it is it is it's where I'm at in my journey of things, really getting into the meta of it, which is a far cry from, Sumo Show #1 or whatever. But I thank the audience and folks who are listening for the opportunity to thank you for indulging me, because I'm a learning guy, and I'm feeling myself in my knowledge of sumo and the people that are doing it. So I might
slow down with the feel in yourself there, Richie. Exactly. All right, so that's what we're doing on the champion level. On the Sanyaku level, we've got Daisho and Kirishima and Wakataka Kage all at Sekiwake, and Oshoma and Takayasu at Komusubi.
This is where my opinion turns into I have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things we started to talk about on last Friday's show, and there were a lot of things. We threw a lot of ideas out, and we didn't always follow up on all of them. And one of them was which of these guys, particularly of which of our Sekiwake, are poised to make a promotion to Ozeki. Who can do it? And the fact of the matter is that none of them can this tournament. It's really unlikely, because in the last two tournaments, Daisho has 19 wins. He's got to get to 33. That means he'd need to go 14-1. That's not happening. The last two tournaments, Kirishima is also 19 wins. So not going to happen.
Right.
And Wakataka Kage has 21 wins, so he only needs 12, but one of them was at Maegashira 1. He wasn't in the Sanyaku, so that will not be weighed as heavily. Usually they've got to all three be in Sanyaku.
To count. I see.
I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. And as we've talked about before, the fact that there's only one Ozeki right now might factor in his favor, but he would need to get 12 wins in order for that even to become a.
So then, are we seeing that what they do here informs the decision that will be made
In September, yeah.
in
Whether or
September?
not whether they have a shot in September. Now,
Yeah.
of course, Waka Takakage did get 12 wins last tournament, so it's not impossible. But
Yeah.
that's a very tall order. Last tournament, Daisho got 10, Kirishima got 11, and Waka Takakage got 12. So they're all on a good, first step. Right? If
Gotcha.
they get double digits in this tournament, then they'll be in a position to maybe earn an Ozeki promotion after September.
Got you. But Ashoma and Takayasu do not look like they will upset the apple cart as it relates to Sanyaku.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Oshoma, this is his highest rank ever, and he leapfrogged way up here because
that's right.
The Maegashira 1-5 did so badly last tournament. So I mean, it's his first time at Komusubi, and it's a rank that everyone figured he would get to eventually. I don't think anyone figured he'd be there right now, and
it's
not
a tough area. It's a tough place to be, right? I mean, it's not like they're giving these guys an easy break. Yeah.
And Takayasu, of course, Papa Bear, man, you never know. Sometimes he has a great tournament, and most of the times there's some fraughtness in there.
Yeah, some instability. Okay.
I still, my hope that he will ever win a tournament has almost disappeared. For years, I've been carrying around that hope that he would get that metaphorical monkey off his back, and he would finally, because he's finished second 8 or 9 times, and he's former Ozeki, and I would just love for him to win a tournament, but I don't think this is his time.
Well, if this were Hollywood, he'd be the rikishi to pick.
Yeah,
you've almost lost all hope. The mayor's coming to sell off the gymnasium, the kids' gymnasium.
The Myers coming out to sell the gymnasium.
Yes, yeah, and if only.
But if Takayasu can win, it will save the town.
He saved the dance, is what he did.
Yeah. So I think that all 3 of our Sekiwake are about even, in that they could all get 10 or 12 wins. And the question is, who's going to do? If I had to pick one, the most consistent recently has been Waka Takakage. He seems to me to be the strongest pick, but I don't think either Kirishima or Daisho is a bad pick. Kirishima has done me wrong a lot.
Yeah,
I still love him.
Yeah, you do. So I'm a Waka Takakage with the Daisho chaser.
Yeah, I would say those. Like I say, my first thought is they're about even, but if I have to rank them, it's Waka Takakage, Daisho, and Kirishima.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So then we will look at our new Maegashira 1-5 and wonder if any of them will get a Kachikoshi this time around.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's got to sting, knowing how much sort of your mental state informs how you do the thing. I bet that there was a lot of like, what are you doing? It's time for you to step up your game, because this is.
I mean, in the last year or two, we've had a few tournaments where most of the Maegashira 1-5 have had losing records, and we've talked about that on the show when it's happened. But I think this is the only time we had where all of them.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking. Have there been any sort of backhanded compliments as to the nature of their their like did someone from the Sumo Association say like a feather on the wind of shame, the rain falls and the feather prevails because it practiced its butt off and didn't get, is there any of that kind of sentiment going on? Because I don't see it coming from the community, but I'm not looking in all the corners. People haven't really, it doesn't seem to be a lot of people going, what the heck are these people doing? Or
Well, I
like,
mean, at the end, after all of that happened at the end of last tournament, now it's past. Right, the Banzuke is the reaction to that. The end of last tournament, there were a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, what happened? What's wrong?"
yeah, yeah.
But
But I
but
mean, it always doesn't, it
the
doesn't
Sumo
form.
Association, Sumo chairman doesn't make a habit of stepping up and saying our entire 1 to 5 level sucks. Uh, but
Well,
when asked to make specific comments, they will say he needs to do X, Y better, or he didn't live up to his potential last time.
But I will say that this does to me seem like a moment where the Sumo Association or the Yokozuna Deliberation Council or whatever, like people who have an opinion about the health of sumo would see this as a marker
I
of
don't know. I
some.
don't. I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
so because it is so up and down, and because you regularly, if you're doing well, get promoted to the level that's too high. It's
Hmm.
it's a real ebb and flow kind of thing, and you have times when it's stable and times when it's a lot of churn. And we just got a lot of churn in the uh,
Yeah, yeah.
top slot last time. I think. Let me say. I think there probably were more people who were mostly surprised that one or two of them didn't manage just to get a winning record. But I don't.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no one that I heard of was making the kind of uh, kind of big pronouncement kind of things that you're talking about.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
Anyway,
I have no idea when looking at this list of people, who is going to be the one bubbling up to the
yeah.
top.
So I mean, so there are a bunch of people that are getting shots that we didn't expect. Like we were talking about Oshoma at Komusubi, Aonishiki at Maegashira 1. We rocketed up again because he did very well last time, but so many people did poorly. He was I would never have guessed that he'd be Maegashira 1 this tournament. It's very likely he's going to hit a wall here, but maybe not.
Yeah, yeah.
This is his chance. He always saying, "If only I had a shot." Well, this is his shot. Um, Wakamoto Haru didn't do great last tournament, but he's been hanging around here, and he's the kind of guy that he's generally in the Sanyaku or here. I expect him to get uh, Kachikoshi at Maegashira 1. He does
Yeah.
that all the time. Oho, a little risky, but Abi, once he gets down to this level, this is where he's really hardest to predict because he's not in the top of the mix. Um, but it's still an area where he's got to fight a lot of those. In fact, probably most of those top guys. But he'll get more lower level guys to face. This is a kind of position where he could make another run at a Yusho. I'm sure it'd be better if he was a few lower, but at Maegashira 2, that could be a launching point for that.
Yeah.
Onokatsu also coming up for the first time, getting a big bump to fill in. Kim Bozon bouncing back after a couple of bad tournaments. He had a really good one last time. He's one of those. He's one of those guys that's so uh, up and down and up and
Hot and
down.
cold. Yeah. Yeah.
So no matter, I don't think he's too high at this rank, but he's always I don't know which Kinbozan is going to show up. Haku Oho is earning his way back up to the top after he's still on the bounce back from the injury a year and a half ago or so. Tamawashi, oldest guy in the division, still hanging in there at Maegashira 4. And Hiradomi and Meisei. Meisei's been having some back issues in training, so I'm a little worried about him. But in this group, I would say that Wakamoto Haru, Abi, and are maybe the two strongest choices.
Yeah.
Onokatsu and Kimbozan, solid choices too. Hakuoho, little shakier just because of lack of data, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's Onokatsu and Hakuoho and Oho are all on our list of people we expect to see as Sanyaku regulars in the coming few years.
Right.
So this could be the moment.
Interesting. It could be the moment. It
Could be the
leaves me
moment.
with whittled it down to a 4 for me. Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, hard to say. I'm leaning more towards Wakamoto Haru. But he also I fear that sometimes he just has a really sour note tournament, and that's just that happened to me last tournament on my Fantasy Oyakata. I had one or two people that just had sour tournaments,
Yeah. Well,
and when that happened,
Motoharu.
someone passed me by and took second place.
Right. It's because I didn't pick Wakamoto Haru.
Right.
Yeah, he's hurt me before, but okay, interesting. All right.
All right, so let's go to middle Maegashira. Maegashira 6 to Maegashira 10. We've got Takeru Fuji, Gonoyama, Tobizaru, Endo, Sadanomi, Ichi Yamamoto, Ura, Chiyoshima, Atami Fuji, and Roga. Lots of people we like in this.
That's right.
And
Lots of people we like it, and for me, this is for me the most fun pick because they don't have to do tremendously to contribute a good, for Fantasy Oyakata.
Right.
They just have to not do horribly.
Yeah. Although that said, when someone in this level does contend for the U show or have double digit wins,
Yeah.
and someone picks them, that really helps that.
That's right. Yeah. It is kind of it is sort of a fun little section of the
like you guys taking Aonishiki last time when he was at this level and did so great. That vaulted you up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I Roga, sorry, my friend, probably not my pick.
Yeah.
Tamafuji.
Uda down at 9 is now back at the level where he's going to be facing half the people he's going to be facing are going to be below him, and he can dominate the way when he's fighting where he had been right up in the Joy, up in the upper Maegashira or Sanyaku. He's fighting for his life every match. Here, he's going to have some that he can just plan to win.
Yeah, interesting. Ura's a hard pick for me.
Yeah, when I think about where we always talk about no one holds their position in sumo, right? No one has a position which is there. But ideally, when I think about them, I think about if I had to pick their ideal spot, they're this. And for me, Ura's ideal spot is like Maegashira 6. So at Maegashira 9, I think he's got a bit of an advantage.
And Tobizaru too, right? He kind of fits in the same he is a world-class athlete, absolutely a talent, and this is kind of his domain, right?
I think kind of like it's on here. Tobizaru is about a step or 2 steps above Ura. So his spot is Maegashira 5 or Maegashira 4. So at Maegashira 7, he's in a spot where he can uh, he can put up some
hold his
good
own.
numbers.
Yeah. What about Sadanomi?
What about Sadanomi? Sadanomi, our second oldest wrestler, who's suddenly come back to life recently.
Uh-huh.
I I am I'm of the opinion that I hope he does great, but this is not going to last, and I don't want to be riding him when his legs give out.
That's right. Yeah.
He could give us another great tournament like he's done the last few,
And you
and
want that. Yeah, you
yeah,
want that.
I do, but I don't want to put him on my team
But
personally.
want in one hand and Fantasy Oyakata in another,
Right.
and what gets you
See
closer
who
to
holds the trophy at the end.
exactly. Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Same with Endo. I put Endo same way I feel about Sadanomi. Uh,
Yeah.
he's done really well recently. This is a level that in 4 years ago he could have dominated that, and he's been fighting that well. But I don't I don't want him on my team when reality hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Ah. I might just this might always be the place where I pick my fave.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I tell you what, I know who I think you're going to wind up going with Toby Zadu.
I think you're right. Hey, folks. Now as you might as well if you haven't gotten out your voters guide, um, head over to the link. You'll find it, and you should go through it. You can change your answers right up until the deadline.
Yeah, you can change them.
Yeah. So if something happens, or you learn something that gives you the inside track. Somebody I don't know stubbed their toe or did a thing. You can change your choice or change your pick.
All right, so now let's look at our lower Maegashira, the Maegashira 11 to 17.
It's the most
Um,
depressing Maegashira, and here's why I say that. Just for me, because this is the you're the new fish heading into the going into the fight, and the old fish who's heading they're on their last legs, so to speak.
See,
Fish with legs.
I look at it exactly the opposite for the same
Yeah,
reason,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because we've seen the new hotness comes in and do great here and launch themselves up to where they get beat up a little, but they can
yeah.
come in and dominate. Like, I'm really interested. I think Kusano has a real chance to be that here too. Maybe not. I don't feel super confident that he will be, but I think he's got a very good shot.
Well, and
For
that's
those
why
who
you
don't
were
know, this
always.
is his first tournament in the top division. He won he's only been in sumo for a very short period of time. As you can tell that because his hair is too short to make a
He
top
doesn't have
knot.
enough hair. Yeah.
Uh, he's was he came in Makushita, immediately got promoted up to Juryo, and spent 2 tournaments in Juryo. He was the Yusho winner, the Juryo Yusho winner in both of those tournaments, and now is up here at Maegashira 14.
Which is
So
that's a yeah. Well, and here's the deal: everybody knows when it comes to sumo, you are the gallant and I'm the goofus. And so so I would just let folks hey, I wouldn't don't take my word for it. Go
right,
with the
no, but I
yeah
mean, but they say I like that. You're right. It's also the new fish who come in and get smacked around a lot. We saw that happen to a lot of guys recently who we had promise for, and they hit a ceiling. This is
yeah
a this is a place where that happens. But it's also the place where older guys who had one bad tournament drop down and then get to beat up the younger guys.
right yeah. Well, that's true. That is true. So she might pull it out, or
Yeah.
Shodai might join us
Shodai
for
is
a show.
on that list of, if he has anything like a halfway decent uh, effort this
He
tournament
lends some yeah.
at at Maegashira 13, he could wind up with 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah.
Or he could around the ring and be 7-7 on final day.
You know, it is ever since we the last program we were talking with our buddy Alex, 2-time winner, and we were talking about Shodai. And then Doomfache was in chat, kind of giving us the business, and
Yeah.
I really entertained like, should I vote for Shodai this time around and see what happens? But I
gotta say, I will honestly say Shodai is on my list of possible choices.
Yeah, mine too.
I think in the end I won't go with him because I don't like him. I've decided my feelings on him have shifted from God, I want him to turn it around to like, yeah, you know what, I just don't like him.
Yeah, that's the arc. That's yeah. Now you're just like, I just don't
He's
want
got
to
to
waste
win
any
me back. He's got to woo me.
Yeah. He's not known for his woo.
Others in this level, we've got Takanosho, who's mysteriously just seemed to have forgotten how to do sumo. Toki Hayate, Midori Fuji, and Asakoryu down at Maegashira 12. Chura Naomi and Shodai, Maegashira 13. Kusano and Fujinokawa. Fujinokawa also is his first tournament top division. At Maegashira 14. Koto Shoho and Hida Naomi at Maegashira 15. Kaio and Mitakeumi. Mitakeumi got very lucky again.
Yeah.
He didn't get dropped down into
I was going to say, he's lucky to be joining us this Basho. Yeah.
Kotoeho and Shishi round out that bottom of the Banzuke. And
I think Shishi's
gonna win if he can't wiggle his butt.
I was gonna say, I think Shishi's developed a sort of he's working on an internal spiritual wiggle, and that he'll come back and fighting for him. He's on my list, honestly. I haven't given up on him yet. He's such a weirdo. I want him to be around for a little bit longer.
I do too. I mean, he's a strange cat. He's a strange
He's a strange cat. Yeah,
he's a strange cat.
But I'm here for it. Yep.
I'm glad that Ao Nishiki has come in to hold the Ukrainian banner because Shishi was not holding it straight.
It certainly didn't play out the way I was hoping, which would be their sort of this Ukrainian, brotherly conflict and the whole, but none of that played out. It was sort of who's that weird guy? What's he doing? And that other guy, okay, he's not doing horrible.
That other kid's pretty good. This guy's So I mean, I look at this grouping and, like I say, Kusano and Shodai stand out to me. If Takanosho is gonna recover from whatever his problem was, it's a great place for him to do well. But not even figuring out what the heck was wrong with him, I don't find him especially compelling. I'd like to see Mitakeumi overcome his knee problems, but that seems like something that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what we've got going on here. Well,
I don't want to alarm anybody. I don't want anyone to take this as a challenge or to feel threatened or to feel uncomfortable in any way. But I just submitted my Fantasy Oyakata.
You did not.
I did indeed.
Wow. So
no, it's not done until it's done.
Usually we say it closes at a certain date, and the fact of the matter is closes when I can get Troy to put his.
Now, listen, friends, I'm not going to be here to anchor that for you. I'm not going to be here to cover for you. I'm not going to be here to keep the the deadline open just a little bit longer, like I know you've been depending on. So you got to get yours in early. I won't be your patsy anymore.
Please do join us. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, for those who don't know, our coverage of the tournament is going to be is switching to being very focused on the game itself. So we will be spending more time looking at that. So come and join us, be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us why you think we're wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, or why you think
and
we're
make
right.
the right choices and win.
That's right. And we will start sort of the rival sumo gangs, sort of the not the yakuza, but the I don't
Oh
know
my god.
yakuza,
What?
the yakuza, yuck
Uh,
yuck, like laughs. We don't kill you. We kill you with kindness and good jokes and a good
great.
time with friends.
So one of the reasons why that's landing so flat for me right now is
Yes.
last night for our uh, Saturday night group that gets together, and sometimes we play games, sometimes we watch movies. Last night we watched a animated uh, movie from uh, 2018 called Batman Ninja.
Batman Ninja.
Yeah, the official DC Other
Oh,
Worlds thing,
really?
and
Okay.
it's yes, and it was so weird. It was too weird
Interesting.
for me.
Was it written in Japan or was it
Yes, yeah, the
okay?
writers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, DC approved everything, but the production staff are mostly Japanese writers and animators, and
And they can get those animes can get quite
it is so strange.
all right. So, but you don't not recommend it.
Well, I mean, it was entertaining. It was what an hour and a half, whatever, under 2 hours long. But there's just a lot of staring slack-jawed at it.
That's great. I love that. That's generally the
And so,
response I
yeah,
get.
so the Joker, not to any spoilers, but in Batman Ninja, the Joker is a daimyo looking to take over Japan, and so
Ah, I see.
The yak yak is sounds like something that would have been said in that. I was trying to think, did I hear that? Is that something from last night or no? No, they probably should have made that joke, but
Yeah, this is the trailer. There's Batman Ninja versus Yokozuna.
yeah,
No, Yakuza. Sorry, not Yokozuna.
Yakuza, yeah,
Yakuza League.
that's the
Yeah.
new one that came out this year.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to check that
It's
out.
so popular they made another.
Well, popular to the ranking of 3.4
I
on
will I
Google.
will not be watching that follow-up. I
Well,
say
there
that,
we
but
go.
if everyone else on the Saturday night group votes for it, I guess I will be watching it.
I guess you will be. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, that's oh, Tara Strong is Tara Strong. She's everywhere. I
Yeah,
love that
yeah, yeah.
voiceover actress. She's just a true talent.
Pretty
So
awesome.
much fun. I have met her in person. She is an absolute utter delight. Just a real treat of a person. I do enjoy the conversations we have had. So yeah, I feel like we gave you a little controversy, we gave you a little insight, we gave you a little we don't know what the hell we're doing. Talked about Tara
A lot of
Strong,
that,
Batman
really.
Ninja. Yeah, more of that than anything else. I feel like what more can we do? What more do we
Um,
have to do?
we can remind everyone that they should go to the Fantasy Oyakata uh, game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that they should go to our Facebook group to find
yep,
links
yep.
if they don't find them in the show notes,
Or the
which
show
they
notes, right?
will.
They will. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, do that. And also, don't forget because you love us. You want to like and subscribe. If you're
Thumbs up.
watching us on YouTube, give us all the thumbs. If you're hanging out over on really wherever, give us the thumbs up. Tell your friends. Share a link with your closest cousin, and maybe you and your cousin can bond over watching the program.
Yeah, and if you like sumo, tell your other friends who like sumo. You can all
Well, them too.
do it together. You can have friendly competition with
That's
no
right.
possibility of winning anything.
That's right. Friendly competition. The only prize is witty repartee,
That's right.
but we will not guarantee
And the
your
friends we made
mileage
along the
return.
way.
And the friends we made along the way. Absolutely. Well, so do all those things. And we really do appreciate. We have a lot of fun doing this. The wealth and the fame and all of that is fantastic, but we really do it for all that other stuff.
I haven't gotten my wealth this month.
I haven't either. My fame is
fame's really not going that far either.
Real late, yeah. But so we're working at it. Someday we will be the Yokozuna Deliberation Council West.
That will be us. That's right.
We
will run that.
If you can't beat the shadows,
it will be our shadowy organization.
Become a shadow. Yeah, exactly. All right. Shall I get these drums out before we go?
Grab the drums and let's get out of here.
Here we go.
Hold on. Before you do, we'll be back on Friday the 18th.
Lovely.
Right? Is that when it is?
That's Friday, the 8th, or it's not because you're out of town on the 11th, which is what people are listening to right now at this moment.
Right. Yeah. No. It's the 11th right now, even though it's not when we're recording this.
Yeah.
Friday the 18th, and we will cover the first week of what happened in the tournament.
Will Troy be excited? Will his spirit be broken? Will Stan stand tall? Will Alex have come in again and picked a wonderful top to bottom Basho and win again? Who can say? Only you can. Because
signs point to yes all around.
That's right. If I were a betting man, all right. Here's some drums.
All right, hit them drums. You have been listening to the Sumo Show, a live podcast about the art and sport of sumo. Your hosts tonight have been Stan Brown and Troy Hewitt. Production by Troy Hewitt. Sommeliering by Stan Brown. An initial charge by Tachi Troy.
Hi.
So until next time, we say to you, Ja matane!
Bye. Whoops, I forgot that part.